My lab was all I had. Not family, not friends, not love, just cold steel tables, humming machines, and silence that never judged me. People think loneliness is loud, but it's not. It's quiet. It's routine. It's waking up every day with no one expecting anything from you and slowly becoming okay with that. That was my life until he walked in. I still remember the first day I saw him. He didn't belong there, not in my lab, not in my world. Everything about him felt out of place, too calm, too confident, too alive. While everything around me was built on control and precision, he looked like chaos waiting to happen. He stood at the entrance, observing everything like he already understood it. Like he understood me. "I've heard a lot about your work," he said. I didn't respond. I wasn't used to people, especially not people who looked at me like I was something worth studying. "I'm not interested in collaboration," I said flatly. He smiled, not offended, not surprised, just patient. "That's good," he replied softly. "Because I'm not here to collaborate." I frowned. "Then why are you here?" His eyes met mine, and something shifted. "I'm here to make it greater." I should have asked him to leave. I should have shut the door. I should have protected the one thing in my life that made sense, but I didn't, because for the first time in years, I was curious. He started coming every day. At first, I ignored him, focused on my work, my research, my experiments. But he didn't interrupt. He didn't question. He just watched. And slowly, I became aware of him. The way he moved, the way he noticed things others wouldn't, the way he understood patterns faster than I could explain them. "You're limiting it," he said one night. I stopped. "What?" "This," he gestured to the lab. "You've built something incredible, but you're holding it back." I felt irritation rise. "You don't even know what I'm doing." He stepped closer, and for the first time, I felt something unfamiliar. Not fear, not anger, something else, something dangerous. "I know exactly what you're doing," he said quietly. "And I know what it could become." No one had ever said that to me. No one had ever seen my work as something more. To them, it was just data, just experiments, just another controlled system. But to him, it was potential. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into something I didn't want to name because naming it would make it real, and real things can be lost. He didn't just change the lab, he changed me. I started staying longer, thinking differently, seeing connections I had ignored before, and somehow every breakthrough led back to him. "You're not afraid of failure," I said once. He looked at me. "I'm not afraid of anything that can be improved." "And what if it can't?" He stepped closer, close enough for me to feel his presence, not just see it. "Everything can," he said. "Even people." That was the moment I should have walked away because something about the way he said it didn't feel like hope. It felt like intention. One night he stayed late, later than usual. The lab was silent, machines running, lights dim, everything exactly the way I liked it. Controlled, predictable, safe. Until I noticed something, a system running that I hadn't started. My chest tightened. I walked toward the console slowly, checked the data, and froze because the system wasn't just active, it was evolving. "What did you do?" My voice came out sharper than I expected. He was behind me, of course he was. "I didn't do anything," he said calmly. "I just removed your limits." My heart started racing. "This isn't stable. It doesn't need to be. It's dangerous." He stepped closer. "Only if you don't understand it." I turned to face him. "You changed my work without telling me. I improved it. You took control of something that wasn't yours." He didn't react, didn't argue, just looked at me and said something that stayed with me long after. "It was always meant to be more than yours." Silence fell between us, heavy, uncomfortable, but not empty. "Why are you really here?" I asked. This time I needed the truth, and for the first time he didn't smile. "Because you built something extraordinary," he said quietly. "And I wanted to see if you would protect it, or let it become something greater." My breath slowed, because suddenly this wasn't about the lab anymore. It was about choice, control, or transformation. "And what happens if I say no?" I asked. His expression softened slightly, not disappointment, not anger, something almost like understanding. "Then nothing changes," he said, "and you go back to being alone." That hit harder than anything else because it wasn't a threat, it was the truth. I looked around my lab, the one place that had always been mine, the one thing that never left me, the one thing that gave my life meaning, and for the first time it didn't feel enough. "Why me?" I whispered. His answer came instantly. "Because you're the only one who built something worth changing." And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. He didn't come to help me, he didn't come to work with me, he came because he knew I wouldn't stop him. Because deep down, I didn't want to. Because my lab was all I had until he made me realize I wanted something more. And maybe that was the most dangerous experiment of all. Because as I stood there looking at him, I understood something I should have seen from the beginning. This wasn't about making the lab greater, it was about changing me. And the worst part was, it was already working. My screen flickered behind me. The system I never started was still running, still learning, still evolving. And this time, it wasn't waiting for permission. And neither was he.